Hello, 6th graders. Welcome to Big Ideas Math, Contract Math, Section 4.4, 2014 edition, Solving Two-Step Inequalities lesson. Pause while you write Section 4.4, 2014 edition lesson in your math notebook. Pause again while you write today's lesson objective in your math notebook. Today's objective is solve and graph two-step inequalities. We'll be starting today's lesson on page 148 in your 2014 edition of Big Ideas Math. At the top of the page, it has a nice little sentence that reminds you that you can solve two-step inequalities in the same way you solve two-step equations. Example 1, solving two-step inequalities. Letter A, we're going to solve 5x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 11 and graph the solution. So our first step is to write the inequality, and then we work backwards of our order of operations. So if you remember, the order of operations is parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division left to right, and addition and subtraction left to right. Then we first undo the subtraction using addition property of inequality. So we add 4 to both sides, and so that leaves us with 5x on the left and 15 on the right, and we still have our greater than or equal to sign in the middle. So we have 5x is greater than or equal to 15. And then we have to go and do the multiplication, or undo the multiplication, using the division property of inequality. And so we divide both sides by 5, and so that leaves us with x is greater than or equal to 3. So the solution is x is greater than or equal to 3. And we graph that using a closed circle because we have the greater than or equal to sign, and we shade the entire area to the right on the number line. We check our solution. X equals 0 is not a solution, and x equals 4 is a solution. Letter B, we're going to solve b divided by negative 3 plus 4 is less than 13 and graph the solution. So first we write the inequality, and then we use the subtraction property of inequality to undo the addition, and that leaves us with b divided by negative 3 is less than 9. And then we want to use the multiplication property of inequality. So we're undoing the division with multiplication, and since we're multiplying by a negative number, that means our sign flips around. And so we end up with b is greater than negative 27. And that's our solution. And since there's no underline on the inequality, we use an open circle, and it's b is greater than negative 27, so we shade everything to the right on the number line. Moving on to example 2, graphing an inequality. Which graph represents the solution of negative 7 times x plus 3 is less than or equal to negative 28? So we have 4 choices. And so our first step is we're going to write the inequality, and then we're going to use the distributive property on that negative 7 times x plus 3. So we multiply the negative 7 times everything inside, and we end up with negative 7x minus 21. And we use the addition property of inequality. So we undo the subtraction of the 21, so we add 21 to both sides, and when we simplify that, it comes out to negative 7 is less than 49. And then we have to get that x all by itself, we have to divide both sides by -7. And remember, since it's negative, we need to reverse that sign. So we divide both sides by -7, so we have x by itself, and we have 49 divided by -7, and that leaves us with a -7 on the right, and our sign flips around, so it's now greater than or equal to. So our solution is x is greater than or equal to -7. So the graph that shows that is letter B. Our real-life application is example 3. A contestant in a weight loss competition wants to lose an average of at least 8 pounds per month during a 5-month period. How many pounds must the contestant lose in the 5th month to meet the goal? So it says write and solve an inequality and let x be the number of pounds lost in the 5th month. So the phrase at least means greater than or equal to. So we have the pounds lost in the first 4 months. Those are shown on the chart. And that's 12 plus 9 plus 5 plus 8 plus x is the number of pounds they're going to lose in month 5. And that's divided by 5. So that would give us an average. And we want that to be greater than or equal to 8. So when we add that all up, we've got 34 plus x divided by 5 is greater than or equal to 8. And then we want to use the multiplication property of inequality to make the 5 go away. And so that leaves us with 34 plus x on the left and 40 on the right. And then we need to subtract 34 from each side. So then we end up with x is greater than or equal to 6. So the contestant must lose at least 6 pounds to meet the goal. Your assignment for this lesson is to complete the On Your Own problems on pages 148 to 149 in your online Big Ideas 2014 book. Show your work in your interactive student notebook and be prepared to share during our next class. Remember, to earn credit for viewing this flipped lesson, you need to complete your exit slip, come to our next class prepared with the journal pages or other work from the flipped lesson completed, be prepared with any work that was assigned in the flipped lesson completed, and be prepared with any questions you have for your teacher, and of course, have a good attitude.